Hey, hi people, how are you? I am Priyanka Singh today here with day 11 LeetCode problem, which is merge sorted array. Here we are given two sorted integer arrays, nums1 and nums2. We need to merge nums2 into nums1 as one sorted array. And the number of elements initialized in nums1 and nums2 are m and n respectively. So here nums1 is having length m and nums2 is having length n. And you may assume that nums1 has enough size that is equivalent to m plus n to hold additional elements from nums2. So here array is having a demerit that it can't be initialized dynamically. Its size cannot be initialized or allocated dynamically. Hence, we need to have it beforehand before accessing or before compiling our program. All right. So here the size of original elements from this array is 3. These 3 we will be considering, and in nums2 we are having 3 elements. So all of these we need to accommodate all of them into nums1. Hence they have already provided us the space with initialized with 0. So here in the output, 1 is coming from nums1, 2 as well as coming from nums1, and another 2 is coming from nums2, and then 3 coming from first array, then 5 and 6 is coming from second array. All right, so this would be the output. In example 2, nums2 is empty, hence we'll just simply return with nums1 array. Okay, so if I explain the approach, so here I'm going to use pointer approach. Okay, and it won't be a nice idea to have one more array, one more space. So I'm going to use a pointer approach here. So what I'm going to do here is I will be having one pointer pointing to the last element of first array, which is 3 minus 1, 2. So basically what I'm going to do here is I have thought that I won't be starting with the first element. Instead, I will be starting from the end elements. And then what I'll do is I'll compare between this 3 and 6, whichever is greater. 6 is greater, hence I'll insert that in the last space of this nums1. So anyhow, at the end we have to fill nums1 in a sorted array, in a sorted manner. Hence I'll do this. And then okay, so let's begin with the approach. And j will be pointing to the last element of nums2, which is 3 minus 1, 2. And I'll use p to point the current space, current index where I'm going to fill in the next element. Okay, so that will be m plus n minus 1, which is 5. So if I show you in this array, initially this is I, and this 6 this second index is j, and this is p, fifth element. Okay, and here what I'll do, now my target is to fill p, but with what should I fill this up? Whichever is greater among ith index and jth index. So which one is that is 6. So what I'll do is I'll update this by 6 and reduce p to 1. I'll reduce p by 1, and I'll reduce j by 1. So as 6 number we have already used, and we have put it in the place where it was supposed to be. So I'll just forget this now, and we'll focus on other numbers that are available. Now P is here at fourth index, and J is no more pointing here. J is at 5, okay, and I is pointing to this 0, okay, and I is where it was. Now I'll again check what's bigger among ith index and jth index. It's 5. Now I'll put 5 here. I'll just replace this 0 by 5. And then again, now 5 we have already gone through. Now I will update the pointer. Now J is pointing to 2, which is 0th index, and P is pointing to 3rd index. As we have filled these 5 and 6 where they belong to. Now P is pointing to 3rd index. Now I'll check among this 3 and 2 which is greater. 3 is greater. Now this time I will insert this 3 at pth index. Okay, so this will get updated by 3, but as I'm having 3, and next time what I'll be doing is I'll be comparing this index with 2. So I'll make sure that I'm not going to redundant the values. I'll make it 0. So this 3 I'll make it 0. So now I'll reduce it by 1. Reduce it by 1, which becomes 2. Now I'll compare between this 0 and 2. Which one is greater? 2 is greater. So I will update this 0 to 2. Okay. Now what happened? Now I'll reduce this j to -1 and this to 1. Now till what time I'll be looping through this? Unless I or j, any one of these becomes -1. So that is where I need to stop this loop. Okay, so this seems fine, but okay, so what's the final outcome of this? It will be 1, 2, then 2, then 3, 5, 6. So that is what. But here is one more. I'll say there is one more use case that we need to follow. That you'll get to know in this video. So what I did, I'll just write it in terms of code. J is equal to n minus 1, 1, and P will be pointing to m plus n minus 1. Alright, and now I'll run a loop until this I and j are greater than or equal to 0. Now I'll check if nums 2 j is greater than or equivalent. So anyway, at either of the way, I have to take whichever element is equal. So I'm taking that up here. I'll take this out of this square bracket. If this is greater than or equal to nums 1i, then what we were doing, first of all, I'll be reducing this j, okay, and I will, okay, I'll be inserting it in nums 1 at. So here I will update this pth index, okay, by nums to j. All right. Okay. And in case nums2 value is not greater than nums1, then in that case I will. So here we got to know that 3 is greater than 2. So what I did, I just put this 3 in the pth index and updated this with 0. So that is what I'm going to do here. Nums1 I, and I'll reduce I by 1. And this is 1. And then also, yes, in this I will insert 0. And here, in both of the cases, I'm going to decrement this p. Alright, this seems fine to me. So our answer is matching with the expected answer. But here one more case goes. What if this is 0? Or what if we got exhausted with first array and still we are having elements in a second array? So anyway, we have to insert all our array 2 values in array 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'll handle this corner case as well. I'll check if I is less than 0. That means it has become -1. That is when we left this loop. And j is still greater than or equal to 0. Alright, so that means still we are having some elements in j, array 2. Now I'm going to run a loop from j to its first index, j minus minus, and I'll insert all those values whichever we are left over with in array 2. I'll insert all of them in array 1. Equals nums to j. Alright, so this also covers the corner case when this is completely 0. Okay, and another case would be when array 1 got exhausted, but still we are having some elements in array 2. So for that case, we have to check. Alright, let's submit it. Okay, so it got accepted, and I hope you got the approach that I've shared you. And alright, so that's it. Okay, so thank you guys for being with me so far, and thank you for your support. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel if you haven't yet. And thank you for watching.